greatest country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Hey, what's up? Good morning, dear America family. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What it is? It is Tuesday. Man, the time is flying by. It is already late April 2025, folks. Some of you didn't think you'd be alive this long, but here we are, the greatest time to be alive in history. All kind of things are going on in our world, and you see the insanity, but you got to see the good stuff that's going on as well, folks. We're going to point out some of the insanity, but we're going to try to give you a little bit of hope this morning. My name is Chad Prather. I'm filling in for the one and only Graham Allen, TikTok. Who knows when Graham will be back, but I bet at some point in time we'll see his face. The boys are here as well. We're going to get into it. Drop those American flags into the chat. The dog wants to say hi. Willie's right here. Look at him. There he is. He came over and he heard something. He said, "Dear America, I want to come be a part of the Dear America show." And that's what he did. 100-pound fur missile right there. Oh, my boy, Willie. Don't ever mess with me. Willie will get you. Willie will get you. Drop those American flags in the chat. I see you guys in there, man. I'm trying to run them numbers up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. Let's get those. Let's just get that wheel spinning for a second. Just drop those. Let me pop a few of them in there, too, man. We're taking over the world with emojis. There we go. A little dancing Trump, little bobbing head. I don't even know. I don't even have eyesight good enough to know what it is I'm clicking on at this stage in the game. Good morning, dear America. Welcome to the program. You know, the place that I like to think of this is my safe space in here. I'm so thankful that Graham allowed me to have some opportunity on the microphone with this family, because this is a safe space for me. Because this is a place where we try to drain the swamp. Truth gets loud. Common sense, it still reports for duty, folks. At least that's what we try to make it happen. I want you to jump in the chat. I want you to drop those American flags. It matters because it reminds us that you're there and that you care, more importantly. And today, I got one thing to say to you. I got one thing to say. I want to make sure you're listening to me. I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to say it proud. I'm going to say it unapologetically. You ready? Here it goes. God bless Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. God bless Pete Hegseth. Drop a Pete in the chat. P-E-T-E. If you stand with Pete Hegseth, and I do, because I'm going to unpack for you what's going on. We're going to do that today, but I'm going to give you just in a nutshell, I'm going to give you a glimpse into where we're going with some of this, with this story, with this nonsense, these attacks on Pete Hegseth. I stand with him. People say, "Man, you better not say too much right now. It might come back to bite you." Let it bite me. I still stand with him. I think he's a good man. I've known him a long time. He's a patriot. He's doing the dadgum job. And just like clockwork, of course, the unholy trinity of the media, the military-industrial complex, and their pajama-clad keyboard warriors, they're out there having a meltdown so big it makes Chernobyl look like a sparkler. Why are they doing it? Because for the first time in decades, the Pentagon's actually being run by somebody who actually gives a damn about America. Not the lobbyists, not the think tanks, not some obscure tribal spat that's happening 7,000 miles away on the other side of the globe. He cares about America. Pete Hegseth isn't reading off their script. He's not playing their polished PR games. He's calling it like it is, unapologetically. And I truly believe that when the truth comes out, if it ever does, but I think we're going to be able to see through the smoke and mirrors, we're going to see that, like everything else, this has been a smear campaign that the likes of which they have attempted to make him look bad in front of the people who have actually supported him the most. People like you and me. See, that's what they're trying to do. If they can get us to turn on him, then there's no hope. They'll have to get him out of there. See, they're trying to make his own supporters turn on him. See, I know their tactics. You know their tactics. You got to always look through critically to see what they're doing. That's why I don't believe any of this, just like I didn't believe in a Russian collusion hoax. I didn't believe in a COVID scam. I didn't believe in a Steele dossier. I didn't believe Adam Schiff had any evidence. I didn't believe a pandemic came from eating bat soup. I don't believe that autism is a naturally occurring thing that suddenly exploded on the scene in the last 30 years by itself. I don't believe in big pharma. I don't believe in the courts. I don't believe in big medical. I don't believe the media. And you know what? I don't believe Pete Hegseth is incompetent. See, Pete walked into the Pentagon. He doesn't genuflect on the gods of endless war. He's cutting waste. He's questioning sacred cows. He's actually making the Department of Defense, wait for it. You know what he's making them do? Defend the freaking country. Can you imagine that? I mean, they have to do anything they can to bring him down. The war machine, they're shaking because Pete doesn't come from their club. He doesn't need their permission, and he sure as hell doesn't take marching orders from a boardroom in Northern Virginia. He's restoring what it means to serve. He's enabling the warfighter. Tip of the spear type of stuff. He's reminding us that leadership isn't about playing nice. It's about protecting Americans, winning wars, and bringing our boys home when the job's done. So go ahead, leak your texts, throw your tantrums, cry on MSNBC. Pete Hegseth is still the Secretary of Defense. And as long as he's in that chair, America's enemies, foreign and domestic, will think twice. They will, because now the grown-ups are back in charge. Stick around, folks. We're just getting started. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good one. Drop those American flags. Drop a little Pete. I like saying that. Drop a little Pete down there in the chat. Let's blow this sucker up. Let me remind you about my friends over at American Financing. There's a lot of people that are drowning in credit card debt because the economy's been crazy, and you guys are just living off of that piece of plastic. And it's on shaky ground, and prices have seemed to be stuck at a high level. I mean, they told us yesterday on X that people were painting potatoes instead of eggs to celebrate Easter. That's what most Americans were doing. I haven't met an American that was done that yet. But credit card debt is skyrocketing. A lot of people are stressed out. You're in debt. You can't get out from under those high interest rates. Well, my friends at American Financing have a solution. They can help you take control, access the equity in your home that you own to help pay down that high interest credit card debt. It'll give you peace of mind and real savings. On average, people that use American Financing are saving around $800 a month. I'm sure you could use that. And they may be able to close that loan in less than 10 days. So don't let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing today. Doesn't cost you anything to get started. They don't work by commission. They work by salary, which is good for you. And they may help you delay 2 mortgage payments, which is going to give you more cushion. So call them. The number's 888-675-4090. That's 888-675-4090. You can check them out at AmericanFinancing.net/Chad, but call them 888-675-4090, NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. All right, let's bring them in here. Boy, there's a lot to get into. Mexican Tony's in the house.
What up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. You know where my brain is this morning?
Please tell me where your brain is.
In your foot. While you were doing your intro with Pete over there, I was thinking, I heard you when you were talking about Willie B next to you, were talking to him like a baby. Why is it that we talk to our pets like they're children,
weird,
like they're little toddlers? Like, we're like, oh, honey, are you okay? Why can't we just say, hi, dog, how are you doing this morning?
And let me tell you, Willie weighs about 100 pounds. He's a big shepherd. And let me just say that he's personal protection trained, right? There's certain things I could say to him in German, give commands that it could be deadly. And every now and then he comes up and I'll be laying on the floor or whatever, just hanging out, working out, whatever. And he'll come get on top of me, just kind of look down in my face, just checking me out. And I'm like, this dog could kill me right now. And here I go, oh, do you want a treat? Do you want a little treat?
Exactly. That's exactly my point there. Why are we talking to them like they're babies? And they're killers, man. Dogs can be killers. Yeah, we're like, oh, my little honey, how
and
are
you know what? If you die and you're like left alone in the house with the dog for 3 or 4 days, they're going to eat you. Like you're going to... Your cats definitely will eat you. I don't know about the dogs.
Anyways, chat, that's where my brain is. Good morning, everybody.
Blow up the chat with the American flag. Speaking of dogs, let me tell you, there's one in Mississippi, and we love him a lot. He's America's favorite redneck. Hot Seat Todd's here. What's up, buddy?
Woof, woof. That's right, baby.
Look at that shirt
but yeah,
you're wearing.
I love. It's pretty, ain't it, man? I mean, it's a really.
Nice
I mean, I got this from a guy. Maybe you've heard of him. He's been to the White House. He was in the Oval Office a few weeks
7
ago.
weeks.
Maybe you've heard of him. I don't know.
Wow.
But no, I'm really glad we get to talk about Pete Hegseth and the DOD. I spent most of my life in a uniform, served under a lot of Secretary of Defenses, and I'm here to tell you right now it's the best one we've had in my lifetime, and I will go on record saying it.
And you got 100%. Some insight. We're going to get into that in a little bit. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
And Graham, of course, gave us some insight when he popped into the program yesterday. Shannon Sharp is being sued for $50 million for alleged rape, and I don't believe the girl. And we're supposed to believe all women, right? You tell me what you think. I want to know. So
I'll
Shannon
be honest
Sharp,
with you.
Shannon Sharp, of course, is a former NFL player, but he's on ESPN. Tell me what you think.
Well, here's the deal. If he pays her $50 million or if he settles out of court, then he did it.
Maybe.
But here's my question. Why are you suing somebody for a crime?
Right there. right there. If he raped you, you want him in jail.
Yeah, that's a crime.
You want him in prison.
mean,
And he just got a big contract deal where he got a whole lot of money. And this is the thing. This is why. And honestly, I hate the fact that I cast doubt at these accusations immediately, because my thing is, so many of those accusations have been thrown out, whether it's Donald Trump or you name it, that I immediately go, let's see if all the characters are here for the play. Did somebody come into a whole lot of money recently? Was there a contract renewal? Why were you in a relationship with this guy for so many years, and yet you kept coming back to him, and you're going to claim that he raped you one time? And again, I hate even saying that word, man. As a father of 3 daughters, let me just tell you, like that. My thought isn't I'm going to go for the payday. I mean, who put $50 million as the price tag on rape? I don't agree with the logic that's there.
no, not at all.
So again, I'm not saying, but I'm saying, you let the evidence come out. But it's always suspicious to me when the person comes out for the money first, right?
Yeah, that's the interesting part for me, is maybe that the statute of limitations is passed and that's all that person can do at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sorry if that happened. You don't sue somebody for monetary reasons. You put them in jail.
I'm on the fence about it, because I see where you're coming from there, Chad. Why go after the money right off the bat? I get it. Let the evidence come out. But as we've seen with Diddy, I mean, how many people did he drug and freaking raped, and they woke up the next day or the next couple of days like, dude, what happened to my?
Well,
booty
the
hole?
problem is this girl, she was in a relationship with him. And she kept coming back. Like, she kept coming back. A little bit different from, I'd say, a Diddy party. These guys were trying to get a career out of Diddy.
Well, all I meant was when you're...
Yeah.
All I meant was when you're rich and powerful like that. I mean, all these famous guys, I mean, they have bodyguards all over them. They have an entourage following them. I mean, when you get to that point where you can have pretty much anything you want with groupies, I mean, you're having a party, you're drinking, you're doing drugs, whatever. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying if that happens, the next step would be, as we've seen a lot with all these famous people, they're like, let's do something that they don't want to do. Let's force them to do something. Or I'm not saying that that's what they did. I'm just, I'm speculating here.
I wouldn't put it past anybody at this point, because let's be honest here. These athletes, these professional athletes, they're untouchable.
Right.
I mean, they're untouchable. And I'm sorry, God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant.
Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
God rest his soul, but we know he did it. He knows he did it. His wife knew he did it.
Well,
the second she came, the second his wife came out in that press conference with a freaking diamond the size of, and we were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Vanessa came out with a rock.
Okay. And
let
then
me just
all the fans were like after this little girl and this kid, and she just walked away.
But here's the thing. You guys compare situations, and every one of them, I just want to like jump up and say, like with Kobe didn't rape that girl. Kobe was doing something and then started doing something she didn't want in terms of preferences. And I'm just going to leave it at that. She was in the middle of a consensual deal, and all of a sudden he was like, let's try this. And she said, hey, we can't go there on this program.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
But I mean, Wilt Chamberlain slept with over 100,000. I don't want to talk about this. I'm just saying, after the Trevor Bauer deal, I don't believe
the Trevor Bauer thing is way different.
If you're going to come with these type of accusations, let me just say, I've been accused of things. People in a limelight of some kind, they get accused. I'll just say this: I never touched a kid, and I've never kissed a woman that didn't want to be kissed. Okay, I've done questionable things with men, like I've held a hug too long. But beyond that.
That's good to know, Chad. If we see each other face to face, I'm gonna be like, Chad, step back, dude.
I might have held a hug too long, at church on Sunday morning or something. But I'm just saying, when you start coming out with accusations like this, and we talked about this at dinner the other day, Todd. AI is going to ruin everything.
Oh yeah, it is, man.
If you want to come up with an accusation, you come out with a video and picture. That's why this is an important thing. Because AI is going to go after everybody at some point in time.
That's why you're only going to see videos and posts of me from here up. AI is going to have to figure out what I look like from nipple down.
Well, the thing about it is, and I agree with you, Miss AIG. It's still rapey if you go past the limits. But that wasn't the accusation. The accusation was that Kobe brought her to the room and did all these things. She went to the room. So I'm very careful about all this stuff because we're living in a day and age where all you have to do is accuse somebody, and online they're guilty. Like that guy, and I don't want to hang out on this topic either, but the guy that just killed himself, or they found his body dead, the veterinarian, they had the video of him kicking the horse.
Yeah.
And the people are over there saying, well, good for him, he's dead. Y'all don't understand what was going on in that scenario. You're like, he kicked the horse. Horses kick each other all the time. When you got a colicky horse that's down, you got to shock that horse into getting up. You're like, that's abusive. It's a horse, not a chihuahua.
Yeah.
And like, people are okay that this guy's dead.
Trust me, that horse is fine.
Horse is completely fine. In fact, the owners are talking about putting the horse down because he's a wild Mustang, and they put that guy in a dangerous situation. So I'm just saying, you got to be careful because online, you're automatically guilty with an accusation. So play this clip. It's kind of funny. Here's a wrestling legend on
Heyman.
Pat McAfee.
Ooh, Pat was uncomfortable.
This is what I'm saying. You go ahead and you start using these accusations, and it's like, oh, I got a gotcha moment. And it's like, see, Paul Heyman basically saying Shannon Sharp's already guilty. Play his clip.
See, CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharp does to ESPN.
Oh, no, jeez. All right, see, all right, we don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me. I'm not the one getting sued.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right. Don't play the next part of that clip.
Pat's just trying, man. He's
Yeah.
like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait. It gets worse. It gets worse.
Yeah. My thing there is, do you want to play the rest of that clip?
I was going to play the next one.
Okay, play it.
Who's the smart ass? You? The one that's going to get deported?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, amigo.
Gnats are hot.
I may suck, but it's your mother that taught me how.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that part. My
Don't
bad.
put that in there.
Forgot about that
Yeah,
part.
that's why I said put the disclaimer in there.
My bad.
He's pulling no punches on that whole deal. But see, when you're already saying, "Okay, I'm not the one who's getting sued," you're already doing that. That's yeah. I just think we'll see what happens with the evidence. Listen, women need to be protected, but again, we've come out where they started accusing so many people. It's like using the word racist. It becomes white noise out there. And nobody pays attention to the accusations anymore because if everybody's racist, then nobody's racist.
Yeah, and Chad, I will agree with you in that 100% that you're innocent until proven guilty. That is the foundation behind this country and our judicial system. Unfortunately for me, I have had these types of things happen to me often when I was a recruiter for the Army. That's why I always protected myself. That's why I always recorded conversations with females, or I had a witness in the room. Seriously, I had a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, was recruiting in Texas, and a young lady did not pass the ASVAB to join, and she accused him of rape. He was arrested, got kicked out of the military, dishonorable discharge, forced to register as a sex offender, and 2 years later, after his career was already over and tarnished, this guy was an E7 with 16 years of service in. 2 years later, this girl is in college with one of her high school friends that she ain't seen in forever. She's like, hey, you remember a couple years ago when I got that guy fired because I said he raped me? Yeah, I bet he regrets that. And that her friend was a good enough human being to go to the police and tell them that story. She got arrested, but my buddy's career is still over.
Well, it ought to be, Trevor Bauer's a perfect example. We got to move on from this, but Trevor Bauer's a perfect example. You make an accusation like that, it comes out it's not true. It ought to be 5 years in prison immediately right off the top.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say one more thing before we move in, Chad.
Yeah.
It really depends because Todd just said you're innocent to proven guilty. Really depends on who we're talking about. Look what they persecuted Donald Trump without any evidence, and yet you have Hunter Biden with cocaine in the White House with his laptop, and they didn't say anything with him. So it really depends on who we're talking about here.
I've always said when they're like, well, we're not going to tell you whose cocaine that was. It was just somebody in the Biden inner circle. Well, what if we had a laptop with a hard drive that had hour after hour of video of a dude doing blow off of strippers? Like, we could probably put two and two together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it
perfect
really
sense.
depends who we're talking about here.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
It does. It does. I mean, we'll see how it comes out, but I get so sick of this stuff. And you know what? Here's another thing. You want to talk about evidence. Here's this judge. Where's this guy at again? He's in New Mexico. Here's a judge. He's
Here
had
he
to
is right here.
resign. He's caught hanging out with Trinidad illegals in his house,
Yeah, this is
toting around a tricked-out tactical M4. Look at this clip right here. This is in a judge's house.
it's insane.
I mean, he's showing off.
Like has a suppressor on it. I mean, all kind of stuff on it. I mean, that's the judge right there. Like that's the judge.
Well, he's got trigger
And
discipline.
there's the guy right there. I mean, there he is. He was arrested for having illegal firearms. Like there he is right there. Here's the guy literally shooting.
That's the gun, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now they
mean,
can
you know,
shoot.
Yeah, they're doing a great bang up job right there, Judge.
He's
Bang
out
up
there
job.
training illegals with his M4,
Yeah,
man.
way to go, buddy.
So he had to resign. That's ridiculous, man. Oh my gosh, dude.
It's the world we live in.
And
People-
again, what I don't understand. I mean, call me just ignorant, but why would you allow somebody to take pictures of that? I mean, if you're trying to keep it on the low pro kind of thing, why would you allow yourself with the internet being out there and AI and all that? Why would you allow yourself to get photographed and take a video of it? And what do you think was going to happen? Do you think there was just nobody's going to share that? I mean, I just don't understand why these people do that.
Let me talk to the folks in the chat for a minute because I want to hear your opinion. Doesn't it bother you a little bit that you have these illegals that are buddying up with judges, and you got Congress members and senators that are going to El Salvador, going to these other countries to try to buddy up with them? And, these guys now you have all these judges. Isn't it weird that all these judges and elected officials are pleading on behalf of these illegals and doing that? I mean, why are they running
check
to El
his bank
Salvador?
accounts. Better check his bank accounts.
Why are they running to El Salvador to get these guys out? Like, why are they doing this stuff? I want to know. I mean, this is somebody's corrupt, dude. I mean, and I don't mean just surface corruption. I mean, there's something that goes deeper. There's something that's happening here. There's something nefarious. Like you said, check the bank account.
Yeah,
There's something that's
it's
going
really
out.
simple.
Throw it.
It's really simple. I've got a close friend of mine, Katarina Schultz. She is a reporter that she literally follows the cartels in Mexico and reports on them all the time. Like she has conversations with them, and she told me point blank, she's like, "You have no idea how many senators, Congress people, judges that the cartel have in their pockets."
Yeah,
Like,
think about it like this.
That's all it is.
Think about it like this. Whenever RFK Jr. was doing his confirmation hearings, who barked the loudest? It was Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, the people who get the most pharmaceutical money. Why did they bark the loudest? Because they didn't want that lobby money going away. They're bought and paid for. They're corrupt. So now that you see these people who are running down for these illegals, who do you think has them in their pocket? They just put two and two together.
Yep.
That's the way the whole thing goes. Speaking of putting something in your pocket, Birch Gold wants to make sure that you got something in your pocket when it comes to your retirement, and that is precious physical metals, particularly gold. Who doesn't want a little gold? Text DEAR, DEAR, to 989898 and let Birch Gold send you a free, no-obligation information kit. We'll tell you how to secure your future retirement in an IRA backed by physical gold. You got that old IRA, that old 401k. Nobody's putting money in that thing anymore because with a former employer, it's just sitting there. Maybe you got some savings trying to figure out what to do with it. Secure your retirement by texting DEAR to 989898 and let the folks at Birch Gold help you out. They are the industry leaders, got an A+ business rating with the Better Business Bureau, tens of thousands of customers helped, and tons of great reviews. Check them out. There's no tariffs on bullion, folks, and they know it. They know how to leverage this market. So get your retirement secure. Birch Gold, text DEAR to 989898. Give me some of that gold. That's what Elie Mistel said. His little
Quick question here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, like let's think about this like logically for a second when we're talking about this judge. Okay, this was a member of what, Tren Agua, right?
yeah.
All right, Tren Agua was labeled a FTO. Wouldn't that judge be charged with harboring a terrorist?
Should be.
Yep.
I'm just asking for a friend.
Should be.
Should be. Yep.
Should
You would
be.
think, but
I mean, but when are we going to arrest anybody at this stage
Yeah.
in the game? Somebody drop arrest in the chat. ARREST, arrest. Let me see those silver handcuffs. Let me see those bracelets on there, man. Let me see some shackles, ball and chain.
Perp walk.
Perp walk 'em. Nobody's getting arrested. Nobody.
Nope.
It's driving me crazy. You know, you got whistleblowers and leakers and all these people that are, you know, trading secrets. You got a senator that went down to El Salvador, violated the Logan Act. What is the deal? Going to go down there and try to talk with the vice president of El Salvador? No, you got to arrest some people.
Mm-hmm.
Arrest some people. I have no faith in it anymore.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Ely Mistel.
Oh, not
Love
this.
that guy.
Please, do I have to?
He don't want to. Yeah, you got to play it. He doesn't want to live under white laws. He doesn't believe in it. So here's the leftist logic right here. It's pure insanity. Play the clip.
Don King's nephew right here.
Like, I don't give a lot of constitutional weight or heft to laws passed before 1965, right? Because nobody asked me, and nobody asked anybody to look like me. So why should I care what some old white judge and some old white legislature and some old white president decided was right for me? Living under the laws of the people who kidnapped my people and held us.
So you're going to tell me that the laws passed by old white judges and old white presidents and old white people, those laws that freed the slaves, you're not going to adhere to those?
Well, the 13th Amendment
Funny
that
how
abolished
that works,
slavery was 1865. So, like, if you're not going to abide by any laws prior to 1965, then, buddy, I think you shouldn't be sitting in that chair. You should be sitting in a cotton field somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just saying.
I'm so tired of all this race stuff. We had a very colorful conversation before the show. And
don't do it. Don't do it, Tony.
I'm not gonna do it. All I'm saying is, have this guy. If he doesn't like if he doesn't like living in our country, go find another country where you can spew your garbage and have them not cut your tongue out and see how you like it over there, dude.
I've told my audience this over the years. I was in Cote d'Ivoire. I was in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, years ago. And we were in the middle of hundreds of thousands of people in Abidjan, and we were at an event, and there was a black pastor from Charleston, South Carolina, who'd come over there to find his roots. And he got over there, and he got on the bus with me and my friend, and he said, "I'm hanging with you boys because these are not my people." They were not interested in him, and trust me, Africans are not interested in African Americans.
Oh, no, they ain't.
They're not.
Hate them.
So this whole thing about white people who kidnapped me, you got sold by people with the same skin color. What was it Jasmine Crockett says? We got skin folk that ain't kin folk. Yeah, you got sold in Western Africa by people who, again, I'm not sugarcoating any of that stuff, but I'm just sitting there saying, white people passed that emancipation, brother.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to adhere to any of those laws, take off, Jack. I heard somebody in the chat, or I saw somebody in the chat a little while ago, says, "You Americans, nobody likes y'all. You think you're winning. You're not." Hey, listen to me, fool. We done won. We're not trying to win any. No. We're not trying to impress you.
Not at all.
Where are you, in the UK, where you're outnumbered by Muslims?
Yeah, back-to-back World War champions and the largest fireworks show in the history of mankind. Just ask Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like, yeah, no.
Oh, Lord. We've already won it, Jack.
Yeah.
All right, Pete Hegseth. Let's pull up old Pete. Let's plop this thing up. He roasts the fake news. Let's play this little clip real quick. We're going to talk about some more of this stuff, but go ahead and play it.
What do you want to say, sir, about the signal chat controversy?
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again. And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. This group, no, this group right here, full of hoaxsters that peddle anonymous sources from leakers with axes to grind, and then you put it all together as if it's some news story, And when we know it, we know exactly what it is.
There you
Amazing. Amazing.
You know, it's interesting that unlike the last administration, you actually have somebody that is eloquent and doesn't shy away from the media. So drop those, Pete. And listen, I see the people that are talking about Zionists. You know, that old thing has gotten so old. Just stop.
Yeah.
Nobody is a fan of the government of Israel any more than we're a fan of the government of the United States. Just stop this whole deal. Listen, Trump's already done deals where he's bringing Iran to the table. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, you guys have found one trope and you've stuck with that one chord song. It's gotten so damn old. I mean, my God, everybody that says anything about anything, oh, you're a bunch of Zionists. If you don't come out every day cussing Israel every single day on every podcast, everything you got to say, then somebody must be bought out by Zionist money. Stop it. Just stop it. You know what? People can have a conversation about things and deal with things without believing that Big Brother's watching you, from Tel Aviv. Stop it. Stop it. We've called out all the nonsense plenty of times. It's a globalist government out there. We're all fighting against it. Just stop it. And there's not a damn thing any one of you could do about it, so shut up.
How awesome is it when we see Pete out there and Carolyn Levitt just go after people when they ask them stupid questions? I mean, they're just... Yeah. I mean, the administration, the people that he chose to be on there in those positions that he chose. I mean, I love watching Carolyn Levitt. She's just like bam, bam, bam. Pete comes out, he's like bam, bam, bam. He just like they're not holding anything back anymore against the media, because the media they spin stuff just to try to make the Democrats look better, and they're just going after them. I love it. I don't know about you guys. Well, I love watching all that stuff.
What all this stuff is about is apparently there is a Signalgate 2.0 where Pete Hegseth allegedly had his wife, daughter, cousins, aunt, uncle in a Signal chat and was like basically leaking information about attacks, when it was going to happen, how it was going to happen, and all that stuff. So all in a nutshell, this one Peckerwood, John Elliott or whatever his freaking name is, gets fired from the DOD. He gets fired, and he immediately turns tail, runs straight to Politico, and says, hey, because, Politico's a trusted news source, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're a trusted news source. And runs to Politico and says, hey, guess what he's doing now? Pete Hegseth needs to be fired because he's doing this, he's doing that. So there's an onslaught. All right now. And I talked to Graham about it. I talked to a couple other people that work in the Pentagon, and they're all saying the same thing. There's two things happening in the Pentagon right now. It is a slug crap hole full of worthless human beings. And I've told y'all, once Elon gets his hands on the DOD, like it's going to make U.S. aid look like, Columbus Christian Academy.
When are they going to do that? That's what I want to know.
I'm just telling you. So there's two things going on right now. Pete Hegseth is literally dragging people, kicking and screaming out of the DOD to remove that has been the destruction of the DOD since the Obama administration. For my vets in the chat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The army that I joined in the year of our Lord 2000 was not the same army that I retired from in 2018. Okay, you had the don't ask, don't tell policy lifted, and I'm sorry, ladies, but you started letting women fulfill combat roles. Then you allowed transgenders to come in, which, again, my opinion on that. That's a pre-existing medical condition that requires surgery and medicine, no different than my brother down here who's a diabetic who can't join. All right, then they needed.
Don't compare me with the trans.
I'm just saying.
Come on, dude.
Medically, I'm just saying medically. All right, then. Now you're allowing safe spaces, and oh my God, drill sergeant is yelling at me too much. I need this card so I can go sit in my safe space and color in my coloring book and draw blue ducks and all. It's completely destroyed the DOD. And yes, maybe I'm biased, and guys, maybe you two will disagree with me, but you want to know how to destroy this country? You weaken the DOD. If we have a weak military, then China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, Afghanistan, all of these terrorist organizations and other countries that are not friendly to us, they're not scared of us. They're not worried about us. If they see a freaking Army commercial and it's like, hey, guess what? I love the Army. Then no, they're going to be like, really? Like, okay, yeah, tell America to go screw themselves. And that is what's happening. And Pete Hegseth is cleaning that up. And the second thing that's going on is the left, and politicians included, they're doing everything they can to wear Trump down to where he will just ask Pete to resign. That's what's going on right now. Because
That's
I'm
it.
telling you, the Pentagon hates Pete Hegseth.
They hate him.
They hate him.
It's exposing the whole deal, like I said in the opening monologue. And let me tell you what a lot of this stuff. You have all these people out there, and they have this people out there on the internet. They have this sad little attempt. They want to sound edgy and enlightened without actually doing any work. See, it's a cope. It's a shortcut, folks. And you got these people that are too insecure to hold a real opinion because it's been given to them. They're not interested in an informed debate with facts, so they slap a label on things and just think they've won. They're like toddlers that have thrown spaghetti against the wall and said that's a worldview. It's not. Listen, you got to see through the lies that we have been given for the last however many years and see that this is the freaking Saul Alinsky rules for radicals tactic. They're going to do it every time. But again, the nefarious, insidious, gross, deceptive thing that they're doing right now is they're trying to get guys like you and me to turn on Hegseth. I see it online every day. People say he's got to resign. Something came out where he texted something to his wife, and he's got forward locations of troops. And like, stop. Stop. These are hit pieces, man.
100%. That's all it is a disgruntled employee. And to the rooster fish in the chat that says, oh, yeah, we need a drunk running the military. Well, you almost had a drunk running the country.
The whole world. I've been drunk. I'm not drunk right now. Am I drunk running the show? I mean, have you ever been drunk? I mean, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but most of you have probably been drunk at some point in time in your life.
I'm just here to tell you, to do some of the stuff that our men and women in uniform have to do for this country, you need to be a little inebriated sometimes.
A little bit, sometimes. So anyway, it's nonsense. Let's jump down a little bit. NPR reported, we said yesterday when this broke, NPR was reporting that they were looking to replace Hegseth. We immediately fact-checked it on the Chad Prather show. Because, again, use the Bongino rule. I'd rather be right than first.
Facts.
And the Chad Prather rule, if we can be so bold, the Prather rule is the first rule of critical thinking is, where am I wrong? Always ask yourself first, where am I wrong on this opinion? So they put this out. White House has begun process of looking for a new Secretary of Defense. This was yesterday. If you notice, it was right at the beginning of my show. We broke this. And then I said, wait, let's stop. Let's fact check this in real time. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she came out and immediately said it's a lie, that they're not looking for somebody. Said another reason we got to completely defund NPR. He's not being replaced. He's doing a great job as Secretary of Defense. And then you had the White House Press Secretary, Carolyn Levitt, who called it fake news. She came out. Actually, she said this is total fake news based on one anonymous source who clearly has no idea what they're talking about. Says Trump made a statement. I mean, you can't go any higher than the boss.
Yeah.
Trump made a statement and said, Pete's doing a good job so far. Let's play the clip.
Let's do it. Well,
maybe. Technology. Oh, I love technology. Who's that guy?
I don't know. That's Frank from Happy Days.
Trump changed his face.
Yeah, he did. He does that.
Quite honestly.
Trump body.
Ask the Hooties how much dysfunction they have.
Ask the Hooties and the Blowfish.
Pete's doing a great job. Everybody's happy with him. We have the highest recruitment numbers I think we've had in 28 years. No, he's doing a great job. It's just fake news. They just bring up stories. I guess it sounds like disgruntled employees. You know, he was put there to get rid of a lot of bad people, and that's what he's doing. So you don't always have friends when you do that.
Should he stop using the app?
And I just want to go on record here as a veteran, and I don't use my status often, but I'm just going to go on record here.
That's not true.
I don't. I served under Rumsfeld. I served under Mad Dog Maddox. Pete Hegseth, and it's not even close, folks. It's not even close. All right, because I talk to recruiters and people and brothers and sisters that are still in uniform all the time. Pete Hegseth's the best Secretary of Defense we've had in my lifetime, period.
Well, everybody was all gung-ho about Maddox.
And he was awful.
Terrible.
Like, Mad Dog Maddox is the reason that I lost my career. Like, he is the reason I lost my career early.
And you think about how many people do climb the ranks in military and how much butt they've kissed to get up there, because that's one big political, diplomatic, bureaucratic job. You know, who's kissed the most political butt to get to the top and climb the ranks? And you don't have that in Hegseth.
Yep.
You don't have that in Hegseth. And so I like that.
Yeah.
Here's what I see
when,
horrible.
Here's what I see when people are doing this with anonymous sources. I see a lot of cowards out there just throwing stories out there to try to push the left's agenda to try to get somebody like Pete out of there, because obviously he keeps saying, we need warfighters out there. What we have right now in the DOD, as Graham was here this last weekend, and he couldn't say much, but he was saying it was just as bad as he thought, or even worse it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And just it's a process where they have to try to get rid of the people that are so engraved in there, like those politicians that have been in there for 30 years. We talk about term limits all the time. They need to process all that and get rid of all those people that are just in there that are pushing against Pete's agenda and what Graham is helping do over there. It's one of those things where it's just this disgusting that we're in the same country, we want to make our world better, but it almost seems like they're pushing back and not wanting to make us safer with the DOD, because they're in charge. At the end of the day, all those generals and colonels and everything that's in there, and Todd, you know about all this. If they're left and they're all about equal DEI, trans rights and all that, what does that say about our military? How safe are we going to be with those guys trying to be on the front line? That's not safe at all.
And to answer, let me go up here. To answer your question, I think it's something Jesse. Yeah, Divine Jesse, is it too early to tell with Pete? No. This is one of those instances where it's with the Secretary of Defense, it's not too early to tell, because all he cares about is the lethality of our DOD, that's the DOD's job. Mm-hmm. Okay? Right now, how many, and Chad, you're older than me. Tony, you're older than me. Yes, I served in the military, but not in my entire career, not in my lifetime would I ever imagine that a garrison commander, a colonel, that's been in service for 25 years would have the cojones to not put up the president's picture, the vice president's picture, and the Secretary of Defense's picture. Would refuse to make a political statement, because that's not supposed to happen in the ranks.
Yeah, and they tried her butt right out of there too.
Yeah, and she's suspended. She's she's on her way out, I'm sure. Yeah. But the second that Pete showed up and he says, "I don't care about DEI. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about this. All I care about is, can you kill that person or can't you? That's all I care about.
Exactly.
Are you good at it, and how fast you can do it? Because that's all that matters."
And that's exactly my point there, because obviously when the S hits the fan there, are you gonna have a trans person that doesn't know how to hold a rifle there, or would you like a Navy SEAL there with a warfighter that Pete's trying to get there? Obviously, my answer. I want the guys who break down the doors, man.
Facts.
I need Rachel Levine back. That's who I miss. Sam Brenton and Rachel Levine. That's what we need, man. It's some colonel in a dog mask. That's what I miss. Boy. I could get fired up on this thing.
Yeah, don't get me heated. I'll start cussing when it comes to my boys in uniform.
Pete's doing a good job, and no, it's not too early because again, the track record. The track record of the crazies that are out there, the insane. All right, we got some stuff to get into. Don't you go anywhere, folks. We got to move real quick, boys. We got to move real quick. But let me tell you before I do about our friends over at Backyard Butchers. I don't know why they got dairy cows on the front. I got to talk to them. I said, y'all got to get these dairy cows off the front of this homepage. You're not buying dairy cows, folks. Backyard Butchers, they got some incredible beef raised on Texas ranchers, Texas meat. No steroids, no crazy stuff injected into them. None of the hormones, none of the vaccine stuff. It's just grass-fed, grain-finished beef raised here in Texas. And they are locking in the price on the meat for the next 30 days for the rest of the year. So the supermarket price goes crazy. You can still get your backyard box, your steakhouse box, all that. You can still get the box locked in. You can get half a steer, whole steer, delivered each month. They'll break it down for you in the delivery. So check them out, backyardbutchers.com/Chad. Get that freezer filled up. This is good beef. They cut out the middleman, so it brings you the quality, it brings you the price, and it's stuff that your family can afford, and once you get it, you're going to fall in love with it. So family ranches here in Texas, Texas beef, get it, backyardbutchers.com. Get that price lock at backyardbutchers.com/Chad. All right, we got more Democrats trying to get down to El Salvador. They should just stay.
I agree, 100%.
Like I saw the one yesterday that said she wasn't leaving
Like,
until
okay.
they brought back Garcia. I think it was a her.
Yeah. What's the downside of this argument?
Yeah, like we're at a point where Democrats are self-deporting. Before we talk about that, blow up the chat with those American flags. Let me see those things. I'm gonna pop 2 or 3 of them in there until I can't do no more.
Yep, I just got popped.
Yep,
It said,
bam,
nope,
there it
stop
is. Throw a few of them in there. So the next batch of Democrats has landed in El Salvador to demand that the alleged MS-13 gang member be returned to the United States. Maxine Dexter once said she and Democrats have to. F. Trump is now in El Salvador. Is this the one that said, roll on down? Yeah, that's the one that said she wasn't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
They're self-deporting. Blow up the chat. Let me see it. American flags. Come on.
Faster. Let me do the Graham clap. Hang on.
Clickety click, clickety clack, clickety click, click clack, clack, click clack, click clickety clack, clack, clack. Clickety clack. Spin it. Roll it. Let me see it. Blow up the chat. Let's go. Come on, folks.
I'm
Drive it up.
Maxine Dexter here, coming to you from El Salvador. I flew here last night with 3 of my colleagues to demand that Kilmar Alberto Garcia be released. He is being held in violation of a Supreme Court order expressly telling the Trump administration to effectuate and facilitate his coming home. That is being ignored. This is not just a threat to all people in the United States who could be illegally abducted, detained, and transported internationally against their will, but it is a fact that our president does not recognize the branches of government and the balances of power. This is what we all have been calling a constitutional crisis, yet it is more severe than anything we've seen.
All right, stop it right there. Stop it right there.
We must stay.
We're up against insanity, folks, and for some reason it's breeding. Keep the American flags going in the chat. I love to see it spin. Keep it going. Keep it going. I'm not done with this. Listen, these people, they can go down there and pull their insanity and their craziness and their unintelligence and their ignorance all they want. You know the difference between this woman and a cow chewing cud? This woman chewing gum and a cow chewing cud's the intelligent look on the cow's face. I'm so sick of these ignorant people who just going to go down there and say they're going to demand. You don't have a right to go down there and demand what El Salvador is going to do with one of their citizens. Can you imagine if El Salvador came up here and started demanding what we need to do with one of our citizens? No, get bent. And you know what? If we caved, let's say President Bukele or whoever comes up here, or a diplomat from El Salvador came up here and demanded that we release one of our prisoners, or somebody who was an American citizen here, for having lived there illegally. Do you know how bad the ACLU and the lefty lib progressive free rebent risk cucks would go crazy? They would go nuts if we gave them back to that. So, again, these people are hypocrites. They're insane.
Yeah, and understand this, though. This is a lose-lose situation that Trump's in with the left. I mean, because let's be real here, okay? And Trump has said it before. He said it during his speech to Congress. He said, if I came up with a vaccine for cancer, they would hate it. Yeah. All right? In the same sense that if today Trump announced, you know what? We're going to shut down ICE. We're going to stop this. We're going to be done with this. The people that are here, they can stay here, and we'll figure out a way to make this work. If somebody was brutally murdered by an illegal, the left would climb all over him and blame him.
Yep.
And they would be right in doing so. All right, and y'all love how I put things in crayon. Very simple to understand here. I've been umpiring the game of baseball for 20 years. When I step on that field, everybody's actions and safety, all the players, is my responsibility. Same with the president. His responsibility is to keep the American people safe, and that's what he's trying to do. Because every time an innocent American is murdered by an illegal that should have been deported, the blood is on somebody's hands. Right now, it's Joe Biden. But 4 years from now, 3 years from now, the blood will be on Trump's hands.
Well, we don't need any more blood. El Salvador's, let's move pretty quick. El Salvador's already denying the Dems a request to meet with Garcia, as they should.
Yep.
As they should. You don't have a right to go down there and demand anything. And again, the reason they're doing it is because it's not an official trip. The reason that Van Hollen was able to is because he went on an official trip. It was paid for by taxpayer dollars, which is another thing that's a pain that people ought to really be crying out about that whole deal. But James Comer. He denied the Dems they wanted to use taxpayer money to go down there.
And he said, nope.
James Comer said, no, we're not going to do that.
Nuh-uh.
And let's jump down to the next clip. Here's one that the Dems don't want you to see. Let's go down to the next one. Is it this one or the next one?
Oh yeah, the Maryland sheriff.
Yeah, play this right here.
Oh,
So
no,
Maryland sheriff.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Deported illegal alien backed by Democrats is 1,000% MS-13 gang member.
Told you.
Yeah,
Told you.
domestic abuser. I mean, this is the Maryland sheriff. I don't want to remind you guys, Maryland is a nightmare. Baltimore has a literacy rate in their high schools of like 4%. I mean, somebody fact check me on the number, but you're going to be shocked. People graduating high school in Baltimore can't read.
Mm-hmm.
I
saw an article and a video of this girl. I think she was from Baltimore. She graduated valedictorian, went to college. She's illiterate. She can't read or write.
So I got a DM yesterday. I forgot to tell you guys this. Somebody sent me a DM about. It was a long email, kind of spewing off like, "Hey, your family's of Latin descent. I mean, you should be on the other side," kind of thing. Blah blah blah. You know, if
wow.
like how would you feel if this happened to one of your family members?
How dare you?
And I literally answered back. I was like, "Look, the difference here is that my family is here legally. My family, I have dual citizenship. All my siblings do it. Even if I had a second cousin that was here and they got deported, mistakenly deported or here, and I was trying to fight for them. I would try to fight for them if, number one, they didn't commit crime, if they didn't have a record the size of, a freaking recipe. If they hadn't murdered somebody, then yes, absolutely, I would do that. The guy they're fighting for does not belong in our country.
No.
He murdered somebody, and they're trying to get him back in ways that, obviously, you guys see all of our politicians are spending our tax dollars trying to get him back over here, not going through the proper channels with the Salvadorian government. I mean, I don't understand how the left sees this as a legit opportunity for good publicity. It's all negative publicity, like you just said, Todd, on both sides. It's just negative all the way around. We're spending so much money and so much time and effort and publicity and all this. It's to me, it just blows my mind that we're spending so much time talking about this one dude who shouldn't even be here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, because I know we got to move on, but meanwhile, while Van Hollen's pecker-headed self was in El Salvador, guess what happened in Maryland?
Yep.
Yeah, take a guess. Somebody else was murdered by an illegal. 2 of them.
Yep.
All right, this 23-year-old woman, her name is Lesbia Milith Ramirez Guerrera, found dead at the hands of 2 illegals. Right here.
Maryland. And you know what? Chris Van Hollen isn't, let's see, has he visited that family?
I'm sure.
I mean,
no,
because that's one of his constituents, right?
No, he's probably been to the jail to talk to, Berto and Roberto there.
Yeah, try to go get them out. That's the insane world we're living in right there. I want to remind everybody, you can do your own study. Sometime we'll do a deep dive on this, but Rockefeller, who was the richest man in the world, back around 1910, he started investing in the education system here in America. And you know what he wanted? He didn't want thinkers. He didn't want thinkers. He wanted workers. He wanted memorizers. That's why we take classes that are really kind of dumb in school. And you don't like this, but things like English and math. It's like we do all this stuff where you memorize the answers or you memorize the pattern of how to do the stuff. We don't teach people how to critically think. That's what we're living with in this world. Multiple generations, 100 years later, we're dealing with a nation of people who don't think. And that's exactly what Rockefeller wanted. He didn't want thinkers. He wanted workers. He wanted a bunch of slave automatons out there. And that's what his money got him. And here we are, 115 years later, with a bunch of people in this country that don't know how to think. Common sense is dead. Dead.
Yep. I've said it a million times. Like people, I get asked all the time, Todd, are you a Republican? No, I'm not. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. If you walk into a voting booth and you just go down there and check the R's or you just go down there and check the D's and you don't know the issues, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's only going to get worse because now everybody's using AI and everything else to get their answers and create their stuff. Let's move real quick. And speaking of stupid and empty-headed, you got Joe Biden here. Somebody photoshopped him into the Easter family picture.
Yeah, go ahead and I want to find that where that picture is, like where they got it from, because
they
he ain't
photoshopped
there.
him in there.
Oh, there ain't no doubt. He ain't there.
As soon as I saw that, I go, that's Photoshop. Somebody put him in there. That's not real. There's no place for his legs to go. The one where the hairs turn blonde in the summer and the kids like to rub them down.
We're going to lick them.
And I can pop back up and I wrapped a chain around my wrist. And I was like, bad boy and gang of bad boys.
Corn Pop, he was killed by cannibals.
Uncle Bozy.
Uncle Bozy. Uncle
But they
Bozy.
put that out there, and people will believe that's true. He ain't there. He ain't there. We're going to blow up the Vince's show here in a minute. We're going to do the Rumble raid.
Got
We're gonna
about
put
5 minutes, folks.
We're going to put that link up at the top of the live chat. Hey, in the meantime, I didn't tell y'all to slow down on those American flags. I don't know what you're doing here.
Keep it going.
Keep it going. Let's keep this thing going. I don't want to see the numbers go down.
And
at
we're
the end
at like
of the show. I want 'em to go up.
30,000 people live at Rumble and 795 thumbs up. Likes.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Click
just
the like,
pause.
click the like,
hit the
thumbs
pause
up.
button for just a second. Listen to my redneck accent.
Yeah.
Slide on over and hit the like button. It's not hard.
Y'all
Just-
think
just
all them
touch it.
babies are in that picture and Joe wouldn't be down there sniffing them? Y'all are crazy.
No.
This is one of my favorite things. Are y'all ready for this? Elizabeth Warren. I want to show you guys critical thinking. I want to show you guys.
Or lack thereof.
No. I'm going to show you critical thinking. I want to show you a question. She's about to get asked a question that she can't answer because this interviewer uses critical thinking to put her in her place in such a powerful way that she doesn't have an answer for it. Elizabeth Warren gets exposed. Watch this right here.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
There.
I said I had not seen decline.
She had no answer.
And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline from 2024 Joe Biden to 2021 Joe Biden?
Not when I said that. You know, the thing is, he was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences, is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you regret saying that President Biden...
Oh, man. Just owned. Absolutely
Dude, when he
owned.
asked her, he said, would you say that he has the same mental acuity as you? She had nothing.
Love it. Love it.
Nothing.
She's like,
Senator, being on your feet is not.
That's not a skill. That's not a skill.
Man. Really quick
And that's-
before we raid. Go ahead, Tony. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, and that's how bad it is out there for all of us. We get lied to all the time from the media, with COVID, with freaking. We all saw Biden. I mean, we saw him at the debates, and we all saw it with our own eyes. But yet they keep coming out and saying that he was as sharp as a tack. I mean, how stupid did they think we were? I mean, it's just I don't know, man. It floors me that our the media on the left over here just tries to tell us that it's that it's dark outside when the sun's shining.
Yeah, I love it. Like, well, yeah. Well, he could stand up.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he could take 3 steps without taking a dump in his Pampers. Like, I mean.
Real quick before we get on the hour, because we're going to Rumble raid Vince's show here. You guys will click on that, and we'll do our super chats here in a minute. Super chats, $5 to get it read. And we ask us anything. Pam Bondi, Scam Bondi, she ready to charge AOC. She seemed to claim that she's going to charge her for giving illegals instructions on how to avoid ICE. I mean, she definitely did that. So maybe she'll finally do something here.
Dude, I can tell them how to avoid ICE. Go home.
Go home.
Yeah,
it's
well,
simple that way.
I have a bigger question here. Like, wouldn't her hiring an illegal with a criminal record to work at the Capitol building, wouldn't that be a more serious offense? I mean,
well, there's a lot of offenses that are going on.
I'm just
But let's
asking.
just do something.
Yeah,
Come
anything.
on, Pamela. Let's
Like,
do something. Let's do something. All right, guys, we're on the hour. We're going to let you guys join. There it is. You can raid Vince's show. Some of you are going to get clipped over. If you need to come back, you can come back. But say hi to Vince in his chat.
Yeah.
Toss an American flag over there.
Tell him who sent you.
Say I'm over here from Dear America, and we love you. All the God bless yous and everything else. And I love it when I do that because as soon as we hit that number starts. Our number goes. There's Vince. There he is. Boom. There he is. I'm popping right back to Dear America.
Ta-da!
And now I'm back to the show that I'm on.
Yeah, I got to admit, I'm getting a little, I gave her as much grace as I possibly could, Chad. I'm getting kind of sick of Pam Bondi. I got to admit. I think
past
it's
it,
time.
brother.
I think it's time for some Andrew Bailey or or some Paxton or something. We
well,
gotta figure
Paxton's
something
running
out.
against Cornyn, John Cornyn for Senate here in Texas. So I'd love to see Andrew Bailey. Let's get Andrew Bailey on the show, talk to him about it, and see if we could do it. But Pam Bondi, I wasn't a fan of Pam Bondi as a pick to begin with. She was, she was very red flag lawy as the AG in Florida. There was a lot of stuff she could have done in terms of the Epstein trials, the Maxwell trials. That was all in Florida when she was Attorney General. So, yeah, I don't know if Matt Gaetz would have been any better or not, but I'm willing to try it at this point. That's for sure. Boy, somebody was committed to those American flags.
Those are hearts and LRL.
Pop it up there. Wouldn't it be kind of funny if we rumble rated Vince's show, but our numbers kept going higher? Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be awesome.
Like, what if we said the most awesome things in the next 5 minutes before we get out of here? 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
So cool.
Apparently I left everything running yesterday. I came back up here yesterday afternoon, and I was already on Russell Brand.
I same thing. I did the same thing.
That rumble was
I did the same thing.
Keep on running. Tony, man, why don't you pray for us, and we'll get over in the super chats and have a little fun with that. And pray for some justice, baby. I ain't telling you how to pray, but just do it.
Yeah, let me do me, all right? Don't tell me what to pray.
You do it, T.
Do it in Spanish. In El Segundo.
El Segundo.
El Señor.
En Telemundo. All right, serious. Father, I want to thank you so much for having a great weekend here, Easter weekend. It was wonderful to hang out with family and see Graham and hang out with everybody. I hope that everybody had a great weekend as well with their families. I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't as blessed as we are, and I pray for them every single day. I pray for all the people who are less fortunate than we are, that they see the light, they see the love and the grace that you bring to all of us, and they open up their hearts and keep the faith and the plan that you have for all of us, because I know that you have a plan for all of us, and sometimes it's hard to see what's out there, but with the faith, it will come. Just be there and open up your hearts, and there are so many things out there that we are blessed with day in and day out. I pray for all these men and all the people in the chat to have a great day, have a blessed day, and everybody out there, stay safe. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting the show. And all the people said, amen.
Amen.
And Todd's going to play Vince while we're praying.
That wasn't me.
I think that was me.
That wasn't me.
Tony's going to play Vince while he's praying.
That's my proof. That's my proof that I rated Vince's show. So.
Rated Vince's show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, first super chat from Miss Alicia Victoria.
So funny how the numbers go down when we pray. Get out of here, heathens.
Yeah.
Demons start leaving.
Do we still have an American that is being held hostage now? Nobody flying to get them as an American citizen? Yeah, actually we do. There's a couple over there still right now.
Yeah.
From Appetizer. Wanted to say thank you for prayers. My daughter got into School of Technical Engineering on the base. What happened to Royce? Much love, you all, for the PET scan I have. Prayers for the PET scan I have next. Royce is working at the Pentagon right now. He announced it on Twitter and all of his socials. And prayers your PET scan comes back with nothing. It's me, Samantha. If that John guy was honorable, he would have reported the leaks immediately, not wait until he was fired. So he's not a patriot. He's not American first or for the war fighters, balls and strikes. See, you get it. I mean, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell Harry Sisson that. Fag. Vanley_7. I'm female, but the belief women or accusations without investigations is BS. Read the Weinstein official doc. Some woman accused him of fondling his baseballs. and he has none. From a case of gangrene. It's good stuff. I'm not reading that comment, Brady West. Not doing it. Alicia Victoria, Todd, could you explain maybe one of your shows, the ranks in the military? My fiance is a sergeant, but there's many ranks, and it can easily be confusing. Hopefully it's not just for me. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. It's really not hard. From the good Trent, flying home today from the Alaskan oil fields. Bring on the Idaho spring weather. Also, Trump should endorse Bernie and AOC just to watch the left flip and destroy their own. Use their TDS against them. That's pretty good. I like that. It's a good idea. From James Obashane, $10. $10 from James Obashane.
Thanks.
Thank you, James. Again, from the good Trent. I talked to the CEO of my company. She went to the White House and said we were within 1 year of the Alaskan oil pipeline being shut down. We're expecting to have a huge year for 2026 in exploration. Well, that's good news. Again, James Obashane, $10. Biden is sharp as a tack, maybe a bent tack. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that's all of them, folks.
That's all, folks.
All right. Well, guys, thank you.
Yeah. Good show, everybody.
Appreciate everybody, man. It was good. How high did we get? How many numbers did we have in this thing?
We reached to like 35,000.
I think we got close up there. So
pretty good. Love you
it's
guys.
Good little number, man. Thank you to Rumble for letting us be featured this morning. We definitely appreciate them. Giving us the eyeballs is great. Keeping the eyeballs is you guys. Thank you for hanging around with us. And that's important to us. But don't trust what they're telling you, man. They're going to keep rolling these lies out there. And to the degree that they can continue to keep people divided and devouring one another, they're going to keep us in a place of peril and trouble. So just see through the smoke and mirrors, man. It's a mess. All right, it's Tuesday. Todd, you're on this afternoon. I'm on this afternoon.
Yeah, baby.
Todd, what you talking about today?
Huh?
What you talking about today?
I don't know yet. I'm just going to have to scour and figure. I'm probably going to talk about these jackasses that are in El Salvador right now because,
I think you didn't ask me, but I think I'm going to, off the top of my head, I think I'm going to do a little history lesson today on what I mentioned about Rockefeller, about John Rockefeller and just all the stuff that they did. I mean, how cancer has come about, how the education system has gone down the tubes. There's a whole bunch of stuff, man. It all goes back to the money people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we see that playing out in our world today. And I think I'm going to do a little history lesson of some stuff that's kind of been swept under the rug. So
Nice. Like
the
that.
Chad Prather Show at 1 Central.
Yep.
Todd,
Yeah,
do you mind if I jump on with you today? I think I got all my studio figured out, dude. I think I got all the cables
Sure.
laid out.
It's
and everything,
Tuesday.
so-
We can rock a Taco Tuesday, and if you
What do you
pop
think?
on,
What do you
If
think? You got that Prather Payton shirt on, which is good, but I got the whole Secret Service slope roof
I like
services.
that. I like. Hold on. Let me get a full shot of you there, Chatamus.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Yep. I like that shirt.
Yeah. We'll hang on a minute. We'll cover your establishment. Secret
like
Service slope roofs.
I like the color on that shirt. It really pops out there, Chad. I like that. That's good. I like that. I like it. That's almost like like a sand color?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yep.
RedPillChad.com.
That's a fact. And I think what we'll do, Tony, is we'll just we'll talk for a little bit, and then we'll just let the people call and talk to you. How about that?
Let's do it. Hopefully my computer doesn't go down again. I owed them a show from the last time my computer went down.
Yeah.
So. Before we sign off, I want to say happy birthday to my mother-in-law, Kathy, in Oregon. Yeah. She is 25 today. So, happy birthday, Kathy. Love you. She's one of the good ones. She lives in a very blue state, but her and her husband, Michael, are great people. They live in Central Oregon. They're red all the way, MAG all the way. So, love you guys.
Sweet.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Todd, any final words?
Yeah, see you guys at 3 o'clock. Apparently, me and Tony going to be answering some phone calls live. So come on in. Stop by.
All right.
Say
for
hi.
Tony, for Todd, for Mr. Producer, for Graham, for Royce, all the crew. I'm Chad Prather. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You can go to watchchad.com, and that's where all the fun stuff is. See my live tour schedule. We've got a lot of stuff coming up, as well as peruse around in there, do a little shopping, all kind of things. But come hang out with us this afternoon, both Todd and me, the Chad Prather Show and Hot Seat, and then Maggie Moo this evening. So I love you guys. God bless you. Thanks for hanging with us. Stay prayed up, folks. Head on a swivel, and do not forget, they're lying to you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.